Good evening all, hope you're well. I've been starting to collect old crap and trying to sell it, and then that's the moment that Facebook chose to say nope, no uploads for you today. So quite annoying. But I've got a bunch of photos of my graphics card and well, my old one, and some board games and books and all sorts of crap. So when Facebook's playing the game again, I will endeavour to sell it. Not least to fund the upgrade for the streaming setup. So hopefully we will have some good stuff coming soon. But meanwhile, we've got some reasonably good stuff right here. So tonight we are going to be playing Dead by Daylight again, which is, for those who are unfamiliar, an asymmetrical horror game. So 4 survivors, 1 killer. The survivors need to power some generators, to power some doors, to open the doors, to get the fuck out of there. Meanwhile, killer needs to kill them. Big spoiler there. Right, let's get the game loaded up and jump right in. I've been playing a little bit off stream, not a ton, so my survivor rank has gone up a smidge. The queue times on killer during the day are pretty long, so obviously, if you've got an even number of players, if you imagine that there are 50-50 trying to play killer and survivor, well, you would need 4 survivors to every 1 killer in the lobby, and you can imagine how that goes. So I've been playing a little bit more survivor, not because I prefer it. I actually sort of prefer playing killer in general, but just to sort of keep the queue times down. And so this evening we'll start off trying to play a bit of killer. But if the queue times get mental, then we'll jump on some survivor just to keep the action moving, because there's no point sitting here looking at a load screen, is there? Right, speaking of which, let's bring up the in-game and get to it. Evening, Matthias, how you doing? I never got the answer to... sorry, I shut down Facebook and all my messaging stuff when I'm streaming, so I don't get bothered by it, so I may have missed your answer. How's your Chaos Dwarf team doing? Are they... doing all right as you wished, or you got off work early? Well, that's nice. 443. That's not bad at all, you know. Not bad. Especially for the first time playing them, you got to be all right with that. So a little trick for anyone that is like me, was playing Dead by Daylight before and then is coming back to the game. If you want to find a function which I thought maybe they just deleted. They haven't deleted it. It's in the store, so they're forcing you to go to the store to see all their, you know, monetization bollocks. Fuck all that. Go to Shrine of Secrets up at the top, and here is where you will find perks which you do not have available. So even if they're, for example, in a DLC, Killer or Survivor, you will find every 7 days, I think it is, this will refresh with 4 new skills, and you need these bad boys to purchase them. So you need to just keep basically playing, as far as I can tell. I don't really know the exact algorithms for how to get them, but this number's been steadily going up. Once it reaches 2,000, you can unlock a perk, and that means not that all of your killers or survivors have that perk, but that it's possible for it to come up on their blood web, so you might see it. So that is very, very good to make sure that you unlock a bunch of perks which are particularly good for your loadout. So, just a little thing before we get started. Right, going back into killers, this guy actually has Save the Best for Last, which is a skill that I kind of need, but I don't fancy playing him, so I think I might just level him up using the points from someone else. So what do I fancy playing? I think I fancy playing a bit of Billy again, with a bit of Chainsaw. So we'll see how the queue times are doing at this time in the evening. It should be a little bit better, I think, because we're sort of 7-8 UK EU times. So everyone should be back from work and hopefully loaded up. But we will see. My perks have changed a little bit, so I'm now running Thanatophobia. Oh, let's just put an offering in while we think about it. Yep. So Thanatophobia is when they're injured, dying or hooked, they receive a penalty of 4% per survivor that's injured, dying or hooked to repair and heal and sabotage. So in other words, it benefits spreading the love, making sure that everybody's hurt, dying, bleeding, hooked, generally having a bad day, and if they are, then everybody else has an even worse day and struggles to repair as quickly. You'll notice a theme. So also, if they're trying to repair, they're going to get regression on the generator unless they find my totem. So again, Hex Ruin is probably one of the best perks in the game, and you do want to make sure that you get this one. It's just slows them down at the start of the game because they'll all run to a generator, suddenly find out that Hex Ruin's on, and then go running looking for the totem, and then eventually they'll find it and then they'll go back to the generator. So all that time is sort of free time that you get to get the hunting going. Bitter Murmur is something that they've changed quite a bit, I believe. So it used to be absolute shit, and now it's every time a generator is fully repaired, survivors within 16 meters of the completed generator will be revealed for 5 seconds. And when the last generator is fully repaired, all survivors are revealed for 7 seconds. So especially with Billy, who can chainsaw his way rather quickly across the map, it is quite nice to have this. This is a good little perk, I think. It's not, you know, super S tier or anything, but solid. And then Nurse's Calling. Nurse's Calling is just amazing. Always take Nurse's Calling. So being able to see people that are healing while within a large distance of you is fantastic. If I could have any of these at tier 3, I certainly would. But on my Hillbilly, he's only level 40, so he's not quite even 50, and I certainly haven't put some effort into getting any specific skills. And the skills we've got are not particularly impressive. So this is the loadout that I've come up with. It's not quite as good as my Huntress or my Nurse one, but it's solid. You know, you can certainly run this and not feel ashamed. So we'll go in. In terms of add-ons, we've just got stuff to reduce the chainsaw's charge time. Almost nothing else matters with the Billy. You know, time penalty bumping into shit, noise made by the chainsaw, who gives a goddamn? It's all about just how soon between hitting that right mouse button and them being dead is, so that you can play around it and try and catch them before they get through a window, or get them before they get to a pallet, or get rid of a pallet really quickly by chainsawing it down. All that sort of stuff all relies on the charge time of your chainsaw. So when you're looking at your add-ons with Hillbilly, charge time is king. And remember that you do need the charge time to decrease. I have occasionally gone, oh yeah, increase, that sounds good. Oh wait, no, increase, fuck. So decrease the charge time is the way to go. Let's just make sure I've not fucked this up. Decrease charge time, decrease charge time. Yes, so my charge time should be quite a bit quicker than usual, meaning that I can just sort of walk up to a survivor, hit the right mouse button, hold it, and I should basically go zing, 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 and just immediately fuck them up. We'll see, that's the theory. So this is not a small load time. Not a bit. So I think after this game, unless we have particular cries to play a particular killer, I'll probably jump back on Survivor for a bit, wait till a little bit later, then jump back on Killer again, and hopefully we'll find that the queue times have improved a little bit. Since I've got almost 1 million, I am going to level up my Billy a little bit. I do like Billy quite a bit. Oh shit, I actually needed that. Fuck, that is actually a really good perk. Fuck, I really boned myself there. That was not smart. Do I want a Mystery Roger? Oh, Ebony Memento Mori, not bad. Yeah. Grizzly Chainsaw action. Right, bit of that. Nice. Oh, have we got a game? Good lord. Right, we've actually got a game. Here we go. Let's make the most of it. So what did we just unlock? We've got some Ebony Memento Moris. I don't think we're going to start with that. We're going to start with some blood points. Why do we want the Mori? The Mori's quite tempting. Oh well, fuck it. Now we're playing with the blood points then. I suppose we did just spend quite a few, so it'd be nice to earn them back. The plan is still very much to buy the new DLC the moment it's out, and then stream the shit out of it, and then we're going to level up the Japanese Killer and Survivor, regardless of how good they are, we're just going to blitz them for a while and see if we can become one of the top on the ladder with those new characters. Obviously there'll be plenty of people trying to do the same thing, but I'm confident with enough effort we can be right up there with them. That said, my survivor play is a bit lacking at the minute. Need to work on it. I think it's half a case of just playing lots and lots and lots and getting very, very used to the maps. So it used to be the case that I knew every corner, every window, every procedurally generated possibility on all of the maps, and now I really, really don't. So we need to basically play a lot in order to learn, and the good news is that we need to level up our survivor and killer to 50, and that takes a good long while. So if we manage to do that, then by that time we should be very good to go in terms of map knowledge, and hopefully a little bit more sort of up to date with the changes that they've made to the game. So for example, I've noticed there are a lot fewer loops available. There are a lot fewer pallets than there used to be. It used to be fucking pallet heaven, and some of the loops are quite a bit shorter, so there aren't so many long loops that you can find yourself, or like figure of 8 loops. Those used to be all over the place, so they could like basically do one loop, and whenever they wanted to, and if ever you made a mistake as the killer or tried to mind game them one way, they could just jump onto a second loop. So that was awful, and there seems to be a lot less of that. But the downside of that means that when you're playing Survivor, you really have to be on the top of your game, otherwise you just run out of shit to hide behind or run around and so on. Right, we are in. So Hillbilly, we are going to not use the chainsaw immediately because I don't want everybody to know exactly which killer I am. Let's keep them a bit nervous. We know somebody's here, and the survivors are here, so that's great. Oh, we overly span it, and she took advantage, and well done, madam. Right. And then she got it. Good old Billy. We'll just hook her and then get moving, because there's no point in hanging about. We're at this stage in the game where we just want to spread the damage as much as possible. Excellent. We get her as well, so now 2 of them are hit for our Thanatophobia talent. We don't need to camp or anything, we can just afford to chase this girl down. She's breaking pallets, she's making errors. We're all for it. They can go and rescue the other girl and waste time healing up and stuff. It's A-okay. Pallet broken. This is great news. This is a very good pallet area for the survivors. It looks like. Yep, we got it. So, get her hooked. Oh, interesting. We are not near any hooks. So, this is going to be a little bit of a walk, but it's well within the wiggle range. We shouldn't have any issues with it getting off. There. Generator for a girdle. So they've done one gen, and we've got their aura shown as a result of that, and that allows us, especially with Billy, to sort of head straight towards him, and of course, being a monstrous idiot, we then bump into a tree. But if we ignore that for a second, the theory was good. Hello, sir. And he's down. And that's what I was talking about with the charge time on the chainsaw. Without the charge time on the chainsaw, there's no way we were getting that. Well, Bill. There we are. I normally wouldn't have done that, but I mean, if he runs right across my line of sight, I mean, I'm just going to take that opportunity, especially with Thanatophobia. We know that this guy downed over here. Oh, hello. Someone's been here. And we found him. Brilliant. That's all 4. How fast was that? That was pretty fucking quick. Don't mean to brag, but I'm pretty sure that I won that game in less time than it took for the fucking wait time. Oh. Immediately past him. There's no real benefit to doing that. We get about 114 points for doing an enormous change. But, I mean, why not get the extra 200? Yep, we get another 1, 3, 4. So, yeah, just a little trick. If you're playing Billy, end of the game, just do a big long sprint back and forth, and you'll get a couple of extra points. So, how do we do? About 15 grand, I think. Yeah, perfectly fine. They all D rank because they got boned. But I mean, it happens. They just got, like, it was one of those Avalanche type games. I got the first girl relatively early. Just happened to sort of stumble across them on the generator. Then just happened to see Bill running across. He happened to be a bit of an idiot and get caught. Then the other one was sort of, I got his aura. That was actually because of my perk. So the perk then got me the David King. That was because of the perk. And let's just pick a survivor. Increased charge time can get fucked. Oh, we can mangle someone. Yeah, let's mangle them. And then again, for offerings, we probably want some blood points. Yeah, nice. So, yeah. So then the David King was got because of this talent. So the Bitter Murmur revealed him, and then the Claudette basically ran over to try and save him. We saw the scratch marks. We looked around. We couldn't hear any breathing. We didn't see any scratch marks further away. We checked back towards the originally hooked survivor, which is the only place she would logically go. And we didn't find any of that. So when we came back again and there was still nothing, we got the idea that maybe she had sprinted and jumped into the locker. Checked it, and indeed she had. So that's game. I don't know if the meta has changed particularly, but not many people were using lockers that much, especially not at higher ranks. But I was occasionally, because I was using the combination of Iron Will and Quick and Quiet, which are 2 perks for making a lot less noise when you are injured and being able to jump through a window or into a locker silently once every 20 seconds. And so it would allow me to essentially, during a chase, just sort of dive into a locker silently, and even if I was injured, they wouldn't be able to hear that I was in there, or they'd hear it so faintly that they'd actually think I was further away. And so you can use that to sort of make them think that you've duped them. Sometimes they'll check the locker just to be safe, and then you get boned. Sometimes they'll check the locker just because, I mean, who knows what's going on through their head. But oftentimes they'll just get confused, get pissed off, and wander off. So that used to be my meg strat for a while, but if lots of people are doing it, it becomes worse and worse. So I was doing it because no one at that time was doing it. Everyone was focused on decisive strike, borrowed time, self-healing, and so on. So I decided to come up with this build that was largely based around running quickly, around a corner, making some tracks around, and then diving into a locker. Which, if you're interested, I'll maybe try and demonstrate that one a little bit later on. We're going to play one more with the Billy, just because that one was so short, and also I enjoyed it. And then these queue times do seem a bit much, so we will then jump into Survivor Town. Oh, bit of Murmur 3, alright then. Since we can upgrade one that we're actually using, let's do that for sure. That's nice. What's this? Gideon Meatpacking, oh fuck that. Territorial Imperative is another perk. That's a really, really bad perk. Do not take that. I think I'm just going to let all that go. I'm not that bothered about it. So we get rid of all that, and that reduces the overall cost of completing this level. And then let's just see if we get another one that we'd actually want. Beast of Prey. Your lust for a kill is so intense that your connection with the entity is momentarily lost, making you totally unpredictable. The red stain disappears after gaining Bloodlust Tier 1 and stays hidden until you lose Bloodlust. Gain 40% more blood points for actions in the Hunter category. So this is one from the Huntress, and I'm trying to work out whether... Oh my god, there's Hex Ruin 3. Never mind. Fuck all that. Who cares what it does? We're taking Hex Ruin 3. And now it's actually stayed up, so we do actually have a choice whether we would actually think about that. So Bloodlust is the ability that you get. It's innate to all killers, and it says that after you've been chasing a survivor for a while, in other words, you've kept them in your line of sight for a certain length of time, and I believe that's something like 20 or 30 seconds, you then gain movement speed, and then if you keep it for even longer, you gain movement speed again. It's sort of an inbuilt way to make sure that the survivor can never just abuse you and run around in some infinite loop, because even if they manage to find a mistake in the map where you could infinitely abuse a loop, the killer's going to get faster and faster. And so the idea is that with this talent, after you gain the first tier of it and you start to move fast, you also lose your red stain in front of you. Now that's not... It's very good. Don't get me wrong. It's very, very good to lose your red stain. But the requirement to set that off is pretty strict and pretty niche. You don't normally get Bloodlust very many times in a game. So you're going to lose your red stain like once. And if you get Bloodlust, you're probably going to catch him anyway. So I think the benefit in that talent is limited. So I'm not going to put any effort into getting it. Nice idea though. I mean, one way to stop your red stain is to just run backwards around a corner. So whenever you know you're going to try and juke a survivor, you can just basically turn around and run backwards around the corner, then spin around and chainsaw them. That actually works pretty well, and you should be doing that. But it does mean that you break line of sight, and if they don't keep running around in circles, and if they run off and try and juke you and hide behind a tree, then running backwards, not your best call. Alright, so we get into it again, and it's again on Auto Haven. It's on a different version of Auto Haven, but it's still the Scrapyard map. This time, because there's so much distance to cover, we're going to use our chainsaw immediately and just get over towards some gems. Doesn't look like there's been any action on this one. Or this one. Our Hex Ruin is here, which is very important. No action on this gen either, that's a little unusual. That is a pretty well hidden Hex Ruin though. I'll bottom that up. So the fact that Hex Ruin is remarkably well hidden is very good news, because their priority most certainly should be to get it. That guy did see us, and though we pretended not to see him, he absolutely did see us. And he got a bit clever for himself there, and he ended up just running back into us. Which was very nice. Over here we go. Here, and should get him, yeah, and right in front of a hook as well, so that's marvellous. And this guy is prestige, you can see from his bloody clothes, so he does have a fair amount of experience at some point. And that girl has a chainsaw in her back, so she probably doesn't have any experience. Which is good news. So, he'll get saved. Our thanatophobia is currently active halfway, which is perfect. We'll put this one on this hook, because it's the best one for Billy's chainsaw angles. And no one's still rescued that guy? Okay, now. Looks like Bill's here. Hello, Bill. Oh, get him, and we get the pallet. Perfect. Someone's gone down for this girl, so we can go inside. Block him off. What, did we block him? Did he make it past me? Yeah, he did. He's almost certainly got Decisive Strike, so I do not want to get him first. We want to get this girl first. Get her back on there, and then this guy. Hello, Bill. That was really greedy, and he was injured anyway. I should have just popped him with the hammer. Anyway, it's worked out. We'll just pop him out. It doesn't really matter. We're not expecting him to stay there for any length of time. Actually, this generator's going a bit fast. Let's pop that down. So we're not, as I say, we're not expecting that one to do much at all. But since we've got all three of them in this area, there is no reason to leave this area. The fourth person has to kind of come here, otherwise they are fucked. And we spotted some tracks that looked like they were going this way a bit. I forgot to hook one of them, didn't I? One of them is just lying around back there. He didn't AFK here, he's actually crawled off somewhere. I wouldn't crawl that way if I was him, I'd go this way. He's had a long time to bleed. I am just listening for his crying. We know that the other survivor was over here. Oh, there's the other survivor. Fine. Not that often. If I think in general, I think it's better to focus on. I'll tell you when I do it when there's nothing else better to do. So, in my opinion, if you have a survivor in sight it's better to put your effort into injuring, killing, hooking that survivor. If you've just hooked someone, and it benefits you to be in that area anyway, because then, you know people are probably coming to try and unhook them, or if you know for a fact that they're in that area, whatever. And so you can basically hook someone, and then if there's a generator somewhere nearby that you know is been there's some percentage completion on, why not? Why not go and just kick it a bit? It can also, you can use it to bait survivors, because they don't like to see their progress wasted, right? They get their progress and then they can see that it's just ticking away. They're like, I've got to get back over there. So you can use it as sort of a mental thing, that they really want to get over there and get back on that generator. So you sort of then come back shortly afterwards, you pretend to leave, and then you come back if you don't see anyone, and sure enough, someone is off and there. Alright, so these load times have been a bit much, so let's jump back and play a survivor game. My current Meg loadout, actually let's just get into a game first. My current Meg loadout is Sprint Burst, so long as I'm not exhausted when I first start sprinting, I sprint a lot faster, 150%. Then I have lightweight, so I make less. I'm actually going to switch that to quick and quiet. I'm going to go back to the build which I mentioned earlier. So now I have my old build, which is sprint burst. Self-care. You should always have self-care if you're a survivor. It's just too good. Then I have the quick and quiet iron will combination, so I can silently and hopefully very silently jump into a locker if I need to, or occasionally I can just jump through a window and he won't necessarily hear it, which can confuse killers in sort of niche situations. But when you're used to using quick and quiet, you tend to sort of be aware of those and you occasionally use it. And sometimes it completely fucks you up because you think you're quick and quiet, but the cooldown's not quite back yet, and then you get home. So, be careful. We've got a guy called Squid on our team, so I'm instantly in favour of that guy. See if we can go and help Squid out whenever he gets fucked up. We've got a quest to destroy these dull totems that you can see on the screen now, so we will try and cleanse those, even if they don't have an actual hex perk. They do grant quite a lot of blood points anyway, so I think it's about 1,000 per one and 1,500 if it's actually active, so we will make an effort to get those cleansed. One of the new killers, I think it is the phase shifting one, has an unbelievably good perk which puts 2 active totems on the map like traps, and if people cleanse them then the whole team becomes exposed, i.e. insta-killable for like a minute or something. Madness. That seems really good. If that one pops up in the Shrine of Secrets, I'm buying it. Survivors can attempt to evade killers by jumping in lockers. Fucking right we can. Right. Are we right next to a gen? No, in that case I'm insta-sprinting. Let's get the gen pressure on nice and early. And he has Hex Ruin. What a bastard. Right. We now have to spend the next couple of minutes, as I mentioned. Oh, never mind. We find it immediately, because who needs to play well when you're all this good? Good evening. This one, I suppose it's funny because I don't think of it as gruesome, though it very clearly massively is. I've played so many hours of it that now I just think of it as pure competition between survivor and killer, because this one is a multiplayer game. But you're absolutely right, it's definitely gruesome, no argument there, but in my head it doesn't feel gruesome anymore. I don't know, I've just been desensitized. So there's the killer. We've got a huntress this time, the axe throwing lady. She's miles away from this this girl that she's hooked. So, oh shit, our allies have gone to help. So we don't need to. I'm going to run back over to my friendly little generator. Simon is playing Sociopathy the game. Yes. Look at the friendly little skill checks, it's all fine. Hello. Let's heal this lady up. You see, look, healing, medical care, generator repair. It's basically like a simulator. Don't worry about all the blood and gore and hooks. Although I'm going to put her on a fucking hook if she fails the generator again. You get fucked. I was playing killer, goddammit. As I said, the only reason we're not playing killer at the moment is because the load times are a bit messy. Oh, this isn't great. We're going to have a huntress on our ass. Right. Madam. What are you doing? Well, fuck it. Time to run, lady. I'm trying to take her attention away, but you need to get moving. Anyway, bugger it. They're on their own. I'll heal them if they come back to me. If they make it away, I'll heal them, and if they don't, well, tough fucking cheese. Meanwhile, we get some generator progress. Right, my sprint burst isn't back yet, so there's no reason not to get moving. And again, we want to keep the generator's pressure up. Too stressful for you? That's absolutely fine. Oh, ball sacks. What survivor? Nobody here. I'm just a tree. Friendly little tree. Yeah, you wander off. That's it. There's a pallet over there that we can run to and jump over if things get a bit hairy. Other than that, there's not a lot behind us to run around. So we've got this building and that pallet. We've got an injured lady coming over. Let's get her healed up. I've just wasted my sprint burst. That was not at all cool. I can play the killer next game. See if you prefer it. No problem at all. As long as you don't have any empathy for the actual survivors, then it should be quite pleasant. Lack of empathy, that's what you need. Killer's over there chasing that lady, so we definitely need to just be putting generator pressure on. She's either going to get away or she isn't. There's not a lot we can do about that, so what we want to do is make sure that we are constantly popping generators and making the killer increasingly nervous about the fact that she's going to have to stop us soon, and that if she tunnel visions, she's going to get boned. So she needs to we need to condition the killer to leave people alone quicker and be very focused on not wasting time. Now, are we going to get this generator? The answer is no. god if we get away with that. Did we just get away with that? Oh, I'm an absolute god. The generator itself actually blocks line of sight really well. So I have balls of skill and not fuck up the skill check. Had we not fucked up that skill check, I think we'd have got this generator before she managed to get back. I root for murder in all horror films that I watch. Well then, you're watching the right game. Right, generator pressure is on. I think that girl may be just super fucked, so I'm not going to spend too much time going and trying to help her. I'm wrong. That is a freshly hooked survivor, so we are going to go and help her. Right after we do this nearly done generator, because she needs to get down to 50% before there's any problem anyway. And again, generator pressure is king. Oh, now she's chasing someone else, so we immediately want to get moving. Oh, someone else already got her off. And then she immediately got hit. That's bad news. Oh no, the other girl got hit. That one actually got saved. Excellent. So they're working together. I'll get the generator pressure. We'll go and save that girl if she's not boned. Yeah, she's got another half a hook. I'm bloody all over because I have played this game far too much. Oh shit, biscuits! Fucking hell. Fuck. Did you see that? Whoa. Oh, UI needs to be top left for this game. You're quite right. 1 second. Whoop. There you go. So I'm bloody all over because you start off with basic clothing, and basically blood in this game is considered to be a good thing, and so if you get to the maximum level and then you basically purposefully de-rank yourself to the start again and then do it all again, you get an item of bloody clothing. And since I've done that all 3 times, which is the maximum that you can, so it's called prestige rank, and because I've prestiged 3 times, I have all bloody clothing, and it's sort of like an ego thing to show, look at me, I'm full bloody, so therefore I'm really good at this game. That's the theory. The actual fact is that I haven't played it for 18 months, and so I am mighty rusty. But having fun, so that's all that matters. We've managed to heal ourselves up. We managed to lose her round the corner there because we were quiet enough dicking about through that window to get rid of her. Oh, by doing that I put my chat away. Let's bring the chat back up. My nerves. Yeah, your nerves, Jesus. But yeah, when we switch to killer, it is a little less stressful because it's just me murdering everybody. Right, let's take a moment, take a little breather, have a look round, assess the situation. There are 3 generators remaining. We only need to power up 1 of them, and I cannot see any of them from here, which is bad news. Oh, someone got it, which means that we happen to be right next to the door, so we're going to open this handle, open this door, and then get the hell out of here. Marvellous. We will do our best to help any teammates that need it before we run out, because we're on full health, we haven't been hooked, so there's no downside to helping people out, unless she has one particular perk called Death is No Escape, which would suck. Because if she's got that, then she can harm us quite a bit. Ah, ball sacks. Right, let's go and try and help out our friend. Doesn't look like she has Death is No Escape, so we can just go and help her if that's not her final hook. It's not, so... She is coming this way, but she's going around that way. Goodbye, motherfucker! Now we know she's this way, but... No, don't run that way, don't run ahead of me! Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to try and take the hit for her. I'll take the hit, I'll take the hit. You stand next to me, you silly bish. No! Oh. Oh, bollocks. Good throw. No! Fucking hell! That was just my bad play. That was entirely my bad play. Oh, that was horrific. I know the Huntress really well. I shouldn't have fallen for any of that shit. I did. So our friend here is crawling towards the exit. Best of luck to her. Since no one can help me off, I'm going to try and wriggle and escape. There's a very little chance that this works, but it's worth giving a go because there's nothing else good going to happen. So we now struggle about, and then the big entity, nasty monster thing kills us. But we've done enough work on the unhooking and generator repair that we will rank up from this. So that's okay. And our friend is crawling towards the exit and might actually make it. If the killer doesn't think to go and check there, which I cannot imagine she will. She's coming round. I don't think she's going to make it. She's going too slowly. Oh, but the killer isn't going there immediately. Oh, this is really close. Is she going to go check? No, she's not checking. She's not checking. Go, little girl. Crawl. Crawl for all you're worth. She is. She's going to make it out. Nice. So we accidentally did manage to save our mate. That's fantastic. Go on. Yes. And since we did lots of work that game, we will get enough points to rank up, but we did get nastily murdered by the entity. Let's have a look. So, first things first, GG. And how did we do? So, yeah, look at that, 20,000 points. We got a lot through altruism there. So we had, yeah, basically 3 players had a really high score. Squid did well, especially considering he only had one perk. Good work from Squid there. I did die, I did. But the good news is that on this game it's sort of 4 versus 1, and it's expected that the killer will probably kill 1 or 2 people at least per game. So in order to rank up, you just need to score a certain number of points. And so if we take a look back here for a second, so these are the things that bring you points. So first of all, Lightbringer. So it's your participation in opening the doors, basically getting rid of totems, doing generator repairs. And as you can see at the bottom, I did a lot of generator repairs. I got rid of that totem at the start of the game that was very bad for us. I diverted the killer away from allies, and I'm basically the reason that that last girl survived. And I opened the exit gate. So I did a lot of stuff for us. Unbroken is my ability to survive. Didn't do well there because we died. But we did as well as we could considering we died. Silver is the maximum that you can get if you die. Then Benevolent, we did incredibly well. We got a lot of survivor heals, unhookings, safe hook refues, and so on and so forth. And we did reasonably well in chases with the killer. We did evade a bit. So the total, therefore, is that we rank up. So I will now show you the other side of the game, so I'll show you how it looks from the killer's point of view. The big difference is, well, first of all, that you've got a massive weapon instead of fuck all, but also that our camera angle changes. So we are no longer in third person, but we are instead in first person. So I'll play the same the same killer that our opponent just played there, and I'll just put some random hunting category, sure, there we go. So I'll play the same killer, and again we're covered in blood because I've played this girl a lot, but the major downside is that we will now have a bit of a queue time because there are more killers than survive. Well, you need a lot more killers. Sorry, you need a lot more survivors than you need killers, because you need 4 for every 1, and it's about 50-50 in terms of which one players prefer to play. So the queue times for killers end up being a bit longer. Therefore, let's have a chat. Sue, what are you up to? How was your day? And more importantly, why did you miss our puzzles yesterday? I want excuses and they better be good. Although, to be honest, actually, the puzzle game was more sort of story-based than Quern, I would say. The story was really gripping, and the actual puzzles are more spatial and colour-based. So, I think it would be difficult as a viewer to be able to sort of help me with the puzzles, but I think it could be equally fun to just try and work it out at the same time as me, sort of thing. But I think it's certainly... from a Twitch streaming point of view, I think it might not be as interactive as Quern was. But I think, personally, I think we just hit gold with Quern. I think Quern was so good, so fun, so well made. Alright, I went for dinner with my part-time roommate like a challenge. I'm presuming I missed something, and you said I went for dinner with my part-time roommate, and that was the excuse. And then like a challenge was the... was referencing something else, or was the challenge with your to have dinner with the new game, right? Okay. I was thinking, how is it a challenge to have dinner? Feels like something we all do regularly. It should be okay. I think you've got the hang of it by now. Yeah, the new game is good. Is good. Yeah, I love having dinners. I think like sharing food with people is one of the simplest pleasures, but one that never gets old. It's one of the reasons I will never be thin. I mean, there are a lot of reasons why I'll never be thin, but one of them is that I just really enjoy sharing food with people. What type of food did you have? Was one of you cooking, or did you head out to a restaurant? I've been enjoying cooking a little bit more recently. Like, I wouldn't like that. I think the problem with cooking is that, like, the cooking itself is fun, but there's so much crap around it, like trying to wash everything up and trying to make sure you've got enough space to actually prepare everything. And then, you know, you forget an ingredient, you have to run down the shop. And so, like, the whole experience in total isn't amazing. But the actual sort of, once you've got it all ready and you get to watch it all come together in the pan and you get to smell all the wonderful aromas and then sort of your stomach starts going because you're looking forward to eating it, I think that whole sensation is great. You went to a Thai restaurant. Love Thai food. Love it. Is Thai food in Austria mad fucking hot? Or is it another country where things are not traditionally so spicy, so even the Thai restaurants sort of tone it down a little bit? Because in England, if you go to a Thai restaurant, you get your face blown off with thunder. Okay, so some of them, like if they're more genuine, for example, might blow your face off. Whereas if you go to a sort of more Asian restaurant, like just touristy Asian restaurant, then it's just going to be like normal stuff, I guess. By the way, this is what I mean about playing Killer versus playing Survivor. The reason we were playing Survivor is because we'd have probably had and finished a game by now, but here we are as Killer, just still waiting for the queue time. So, sadly, I think we will be playing a bit more Survivor than Killer this evening, even though I do prefer Killer. The one we went to yesterday, you can just say you want it spicy, you get it spicy. Ah, okay, yeah. I think that the problem with that system is that sometimes the chef takes it as a challenge. So if you go in there and say, yeah, no, I really want it spicy, he's like, oh, okay, do you? Right then. And sometimes you say, yeah, no, I really, really want it spicy, and they're like, yeah, but do you? Do you though? And then it comes out still pretty mild. Obviously, some people just get it right. They just go, I want it spicy, and they actually bring it spicy. That's great. But I find that it has very mixed results, if you have to ask. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I find the soups are very often like that. Like the way that Thai soup is prepared is just intuitively spicy somehow, and there's not much they can do about it. because as you say, otherwise it would just be so bland, it would be unbelievable. So, but the problem is that you generally, you know, you order your food, you order your soups, your soup comes, and it's just at the start of the conversation with whoever you're meeting for lunch or whatever, and then you take a spoonful of the soup, and suddenly a bit of spice goes down your windpipe, and then you can't speak for the next 10 minutes. So you better hope they're in the mood to chat. Matthias went to an Indian place in Graz and ordered Indian hot, and I was asked about 4 times by the restaurant manager, chef and owner if I actually wanted to eat Indian spicy. Did they ask you to sign an insurance document? Sign here so that if we blow your head clean off, then it's not our fault. Right, we have finally got a game, so let's hope nobody disconnects, because otherwise we're boned. A round in this game takes about as long as we just waited for this round to start, approximately. And that's why I'm not playing Killer at the moment. I'd say something like 15 minutes. So it really, really depends though. Like the first game of tonight, I played the Killer with a chainsaw, and I just murdered everybody in about 3 minutes. So I genuinely think we queued for longer than that game took. Whereas this one, a normal game, I mean, you just saw me play as Survivor. I think you came in a few minutes into that game, and then you saw the rest of it. So that's sort of a rough estimation of how long it takes. But as the Killer, we will be tracking the survivors down. They leave these sort of red scratch marks on the environment if they sprint. If they walk, they do not. So they can try and be stealthy, but then they're obviously very slow. We are playing the same Killer as the previous guy was. So we have our big axe, and we have little hatchets that we can throw at people. And... sorry. No, I've got something stuck in my throat there. Fortunately, a little bit of lukewarm tea ready to wash it down in the most disgusting manner. So now we can see where all the generators are, and we have to sort of go and basically track down the survivors that are trying to repair them. So let's get to it. Alright, so someone fucked up over there, that's very kind of them. And so we're going to go straight to them. She's going to leg it, not fast enough. And I'm going to hit her with an axe. She's going downstairs. We're going to assume that she's just going to run straight through. We're trying to mess with her sense of sound here. And it hasn't worked. She has managed to lose us. Not that surprising. Oh, she was still down here. That's useful. She's going to run up these stairs, yeah, and we're going to chase her and follow the blood. Off she goes over here. We use the axe to sort of stop her from running that way. And then we ran backwards to avoid our red glow from highlighting where we were going, try and confuse her a bit. And this is a very good survivor, so we do want to make sure that we sort of punish her pretty severely now that we've found her a bit. Someone else has found our totem, so we do want to defend it, but we can't, I don't think. God, that police light is so annoying. It's obnoxiously bright on purpose. Alright, so they've rescued her. Let's see which way they go. They're going this way, fine. Oh, we tried to throw that axe over to the left. Oh, interesting. Oh, did you see it? Did you? Yes. Suck it. Threaded. We knew where she wanted to go. We made damn sure she was getting an axe to the face if she went there. Now they should go to help her again. We need to get some more hatchets, so here we are. It is worth spending a lot of time getting this girl dead because she is clearly good. She's going to cost us a lot of time if she gets free and is able to run unimpeded. The fact that she was injured... Hello, Bill. No, Bill. No. Calm yourself. Right. If they're willing to give me a free kill to free that girl, and they were, then I'm going to take it. So, we've taken Bill. She's going to run this way. And we're only after the injured girl. We don't care about the other one. They're going to go and rescue Bill, and that's fine. Exactly as it should be. However, we've lost them. Bravo, well run away. So the fact that we've gone this far away means that someone should have gone to save this dude. There you go. So we'll crack him with the hatchet. And now this guy's boned himself. Oh, he's got borrowed time. That's very annoying. Let's see if we can get an angle to crack him with a hatchet. Doesn't look like we're going to get that angle, so he's going to get away for a bit. He's running this way. He wants to thread that gap. Oh, we've made him drop the pallet at least. That's good news. And hatchet in the back. There you go. Is it too stressful for you? Oh, he's got decisive strike as well as borrowed time. He's got a ridiculously powerful setup. He can have a hatchet for his troubles. No, he can't. Alright, there we go. So, people trying to play the pallet game with me. It's super weird. Yeah, I grant you that. It is a bit weird. Right, we've used a lot of hatchets. We know there was someone over here. So we'll move away. Oh, that long-range hatchet should have gone off. It's a bit annoying that it didn't. What? Where the sweet Jesus did that guy just go? That was cool. Bravo. Bravo, very nicely done. He deserved that. I'm getting a bit screwed here. Fortunately, I think this girl's now dead. I'm gonna hook her here actually. Have a good evening and thank you very much. So we know someone's here. And we know they're going to try and get out, which they did, so now we've got them. Beautiful. Now the question becomes, can we crack her with a hatchet? She seems to be a bit of a linear mover. Fuck, that was ball-clenchingly close. And that one was right in the back of the head. God bless, look at that. So, they have kind of grouped their last gens a bit. So that one's not being done. That one's not being done. They are going for the unhook. Didn't catch it. Damn it. Oh. Again, ball-shavingly close there. She, for some reason, ran the long way around. I'll take it. And we get a free hit on Bill. Have that, Bill. See what you think. Right. We'll get this lady hooked up. Grab some more hatchets. And then go and put pressure on the gens. We can break this pallet in the meantime. I think that might be her done. No, she's halfway done. No sign of Bill just yet. Oh, there he is. So we don't have any hatchets, so we can't nail him, but he doesn't know that, and he is just running straight for the hook. Which he proceeds not to get. That's good news. If he's got... Oh, he can't have Decisive Strike because he's already used it, so we just need to try and make it to this hook, which I think we should do, assuming that terrain's not too bad. It's not good, and that gives us easier access to some hatchets, which is great because we really need them. They're both dead, which leaves one guy, and therefore potential for the hatch. The hatch on this map is usually in the street. Seems like the guy was in that region. Now presumably legged it. Quick check. See if he's hiding up here. So he's probably hatch hunting, and he gets it. Fair enough. Well, I mean, we did a lot of damage, a lot of spreading the love there. So I think we should get easily enough points to level, if not. Oh yeah, Jesus, look at that. So what's that? 22k. Yeah, we had the highest score there. But GG to Kenzie. Good work. He obviously disagrees, or... Interesting. So, I mean, I was literally just sitting here saying how I spread the damage quite a bit, and he is of the impression that I tunneled and camped. Now, of course, you'll hear this almost every time you win as the killer, but in this case, we didn't necessarily win. I mean, we did. We got the highest score, but one survived, and in my, like, just the way I view it as the killer, I want everybody dead, otherwise it's not a win. So, it's strange to lose and still have them think that you tunneled and camped. Interesting. Oh, we've got a Survivor challenge on here. Well, I am going to go back to Survivor because those queue times were mental, and I was mainly playing Killer just to sort of show Sue how it can go. So we are going to be playing Survivor for a little bit, and then in the last session, in the last section of the session, I'll jump back onto Killer and just see if the queue times are any better. Hopefully they are, because I do like to get a couple of Killer games in. Also, we are approaching 1 million blood points, so I am going to have to start spending those pretty soon. Who do I need to spend them on? I might get this... I don't know. I don't really give a shit about David King anymore. I was leveling him up at one time just so that I had 2 different survivors with 2 different perk sets. But in the end, my Meg perk set is just so big that I basically have most of the skills that he has anyway, plus more. So there isn't a huge benefit. So I think what we'll do is we'll wait for that DLC to come out next week, and then we'll grab the new Japanese Survivor and just invest a lot into them. So in the meantime, we'll probably put these extra blood points that we're getting, if we get anything that looks like it's going to go above 1 million, we will slap it into the killers that I've got that are close to 50. So I've got both Hillbilly and Wraith are both pretty close. So I think we'll slap it on them. Nothing good here, really. Springwood. Yeah, fuck it. I don't remember what Springwood is, but let's go there. I'll tell you another reason why I hate Mike Myers is because you end up like it was because of him that the wait, hang on. Springwood isn't his map, is it? Because I'm just about to complain about his map. One of the reasons I don't like him is because his map sucks a big bag of dick. It's the one we just played, and it's horrific because it's like a long street with a bunch of buildings going up and down, and I was used to play Nurse a lot, as I mentioned. And when you're playing Nurse on that map, it's just so fucking hard to teleport. And when the map was first released, there were so many bugs that the Nurse couldn't teleport through certain areas, or you would suddenly just teleport on the roof or in the cellar. Like, it was horrific. It was very, very hard to play Nurse there. Especially when they were dicking around on the balconies. So now they've fixed most of that, to be fair to them, and so the map isn't as egregious, but I just have this very negative memory of it. So to get this quest done, we need to cleanse 3 more totems. We're not going to get that in one game, but we might get it over 2. I still haven't really bothered about what these archives are. I like doing quests in general. I mean, why not? And we do get blood points for it, even though I don't give a damn about the rift stuff, mainly because I don't know what any of it does. It is nice to have goals other than just win. Jesus, I've actually got quite a lot of gear for Meg. I suppose I have played her quite a bit. just got Spine Chill, no one gives a damn. Dark Sense, no one gives a damn. Oh, I suppose Dark Sense has now been changed. So Dark Sense now looks a lot like Bitter Murmur from the killer side. And so you do sort of end up in the same place, I guess. But I think it's much better from the killer's perspective to know where all the survivors are or nearby survivors when a generator's done, rather than the other way around. I don't think, like, oh, I've finished a generator, let's have a quick look where the killer is. Like, who gives a damn? You know where he is because he's coming towards you because you've just finished a generator. Like, you need to be... I suppose it would help you to juke him rather than run away from him. But he knows where you were a few seconds ago, so any killer worth his salt should be able to track you, even if they don't see you. If they've got a fixed point of location on you. So, I don't know, I don't think that's a very good perk. I don't think you'll see me running that at all. And we're in. So Badham Preschool, Springwood. So we are in the Springwood thing. So what is this map? Oh, it's the one of Freddy Krueger. It's Freddy Krueger's map. Right, fine. I hope we're not actually playing against Freddy Krueger. He's quite a different colour to the rest. Damn it, the guy's got Hex Ruin. And I hope that my mates are dealing with it, and I'm just going to try and hit the great skill checks. Tricky, but... Oh, fuck. Just not got the rhythm down yet. We're going to have to... No killer incoming on a broken gen. That is interesting. I'm trying to think about the reasons why. Killer is remarkably close all of a sudden. Oh, it's the hack. So someone's triggered her trap and she's immediately gone to it, so I now want to trigger her trap that she's set here. What? I thought she just set one. I thought we watched her do it. What? Madness. Is Hex Ruin still up? Or is someone, like, has no one found it yet? Nope, so we need to go and have a look for it. Well, crap. Oh, fuck me, silly! Oh, Jesus. Oh, I didn't need that in my life. Stop healing yourself, you big penis. Yeah, fuck you, lad, if you fucking steal it. You can go on and deal with your own shit. Just murdered 4 people easily with the hunters. Well, good for you. I've just had a quick check whether my heart's still working. It is. You'll be glad to hear. I hate the hag. Seems like this hex ruin is rather well hidden, so we're just going to have to hope that somebody finds it at some point, and meanwhile try and hit these skill checks a bit well, which so far we are. Oh, he had to open his big mouth, didn't he? So I did a little trick there, which I did an instant sprint jump into the locker. And normally if you enter or exit a locker quietly, you do still make a little bit of locker noise, and she was close enough where she would have probably heard it. But because I've got the quick and quiet perk, if I enter a locker at a sprint, I actually enter it completely silently. So I went into sprint just for a second to dive in. And it worked. Downside is it does leave a tiny set of scratch marks, which can last and can give you away. But I'm nailing these skill checks a little bit. Hex ruin. Hex fuck you. We do need to find this hex ruin though, like that. We can't rely on that as a strategy. They're in a chase. Damn it, that one's already been done. We actually want to set off her traps now. Holy titties. Nope. Yeah, you slag. Right, we are boned, it's just a matter of time, so... Let's see if we get lucky. No! But we did manage to get downstairs, which might make it a bit tricky for her to find a hook. So we're going to wiggle like a motherfucker. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Oh, we're right next to a set of stairs, of course we are. Alright, well that's our first hook. We've got 2 generators done as a team, and let's have a quick look around. So one guy's doing a gen, and 2 guys are sort of... One guy's edging towards me, one guy's edging away. So, we might be in with a shot here. Is he going to make it to me? This is not wide. Get myself healed up and then get to work on that gen. Wow, that was insanely lucky timing that she happened to jump into one of her traps at that time, because we were fooked. Brilliant. Let's just nip round to the... Oh, we can't nip round to the other side of this gen. Well, where do you want me to go, lass? Someone just get the hex rune. Yes! Finally, right. She's over there. Hag's miles away. Let's get back to this gen. That way, which will give us enough time to get this one done. Seems like our two others on it, should be good. Where's the nearest door? Do we see one? No, so the door's a little way off. Keep your nerve, keep your nerve, keep your nerve. God bless. Right. Channel is ideal for bridging the waiting time between killer games. I can imagine that is a pretty good system. I'll keep playing Survivor so that there's always something happening. You can keep playing Killer so you get to watch me instead of actually playing the game. Well, congrats. Oh, I'm so glad it wasn't me that just got fucked there. Oh, no one escapes death, and he just gets dicked. Oh man, he's got to be super sad about life right now. That is... Oh, that was unfortunate, my friend. Well, bye-bye. Fuck that. I'm not risking it. I'm taking my 5,000 blood points and leaving. Thank you very much. $21k, yeah, nice. What is that? Start the timer with 3 tokens. When your aura would be shown, activating the token is consumed. For the next 10 seconds, your aura and scratch marks will not be shown to the killer. Does not activate when you're in a dying state or in a trap. That is a very good perk, I think. That feels like it's very good. Who the hell is Jeff Johansson? While we're waiting for the next game, we're going to find out who the bloody hell Jeff Johansson is and figure out if we can level him up and get that perk. This dude. A quiet artist. Oh god, we'd have to play as the hippie. So we got a bunch of level 14s and a level 9, presumably the level 9, and we're all prestige 3, 3, 1, so pretty good survivor team here, considering we're only at rank 14. It either suggests they've all played far too much and they're absolutely dreadful, or they might be in a similar spot to me and they've just rejoined the ladder after a break. I think a lot of people will have got back into the game. No, that doesn't make sense. Oh, well, because there's a sale on all the DLC at the minute, so maybe they've just bought some DLC. But then, you know, why would you be playing these very old survivors if you just bought DLC? So maybe that doesn't match up. After this game I need to go and spend some blood points, because otherwise we are going to waste them over 1 million. So we'll just level up some killer stuff, I think, because I don't have Jeff Johansson and I'm not buying that DLC, so no, none of the new sort of DLC survivors immediately sort of sing to me as being like, oh yeah, we need to play that one. So I'm hoping the new survivor is good. We're going to play her regardless, but I hope she's actually decent as well. Provide a bit of content. Alrighty, so it's the nurse map, circular map, good building in the centre. This girl's got the injured perk, no idea why. So it's the trapper, which makes the central building a lot less appealing. You got Hex Ruin? Everyone's got Hex Ruin these days. Yep, we're going to need to get some good skill checks here, lads. Should have just gone for this stuff. But no, I just didn't feel like he was going to go for that. We got a lot of points for it, but we did also get hooked, so you know, who really won? Ooh, we had a good wiggle rhythm on there, we almost got that. So So that guy's got clipped. The other two are miles off. So that guy might well die because he did get clipped for free kind of thing. He almost got me the wiggle escape though, to be fair to him. That one seems like he's comfortable on his generator. That lad is probably running around looking for Hex Ruin. And that one's running around with a trapper on his ass. And he's got Thanatophobia, so while we're all injured, we've got 3 strikes against us. Oh, 2 of them are doing generators. Not good for us. Looks like this one is now coming towards us, so that's good. And that one's just been clocked. That guy finally got the Hex Ruin. He's picked up. Alright, looks like we're just legging it. Fine. In that case, I'm going to stay away from that generator. We'll go over to the full generator, because killers very rarely go to full generators. Should be a gen somewhere here. Yes, that's good stuff. So we've got 2 gens done. If I get this one done, we do have Thanatophobia though. That's not. Let's see where he goes from there. Towards us in this one, which is good. Other guys healed up, that reduces our Thanatophobia issues. I'm going to walk towards because I've still got my sprint burst at the moment. And I want to use it to get away. On. I'm going to go back and get generator pressure on. We've got the safer at Hook Rescue, so that's good. He'll have to sort himself out. Oh, he's the guy that's permanently injured, so I couldn't heal him anyway. Right, okay. He's now chasing someone else, so that'd be a good time to get the generator done, because he's less likely to run straight to us. Running straight towards would be bad because we're kind of trapped down this alleyway. We have to go back straight forwards, either to the left or to the right, but either way we'd have to move towards the killer. So the fact that he's now chasing someone is good for us. The fact that he's chasing someone right next to us is very bad for us. That sucked quite a lot. Is this trapped? Please don't be trapped. He did see it. Well, he didn't see it, but he worked it out. Our wiggle mastery is good, but not quite enough. So we're now on to struggling territory. That lady is the one more likely to pick us up. Well, looks like both of them are thinking about it. Now, will they get caught on that trap? Yep. And that's trapped. So they are both trapped at the same time. Good-o. This lady picked me up. Marvellous. we now collect it. Oh, we don't have much med kit left, so we're just going to have to heal ourselves. They're both going to get hooked. And we're going to take the hatch, because fuck this game. We're not going to win it from here, so... I'm actually going to get even further away. I want to completely minimise the chances of getting caught in case he's got nurses calling and can see healing. One of our guys got away? Oh no! I actually didn't want him to get away. It's quite bad. Well, congratulations on the successful hunt. We are in a bit of a sticky spot. We've got one gen left, but only 2 survivors left. And I've been hooked twice, so 3rd strike and you're out sort of thing. And our mate was in a dying state, so I was like, oh great, we'll just go and get the hatch. But sadly he then, I think he had Unbreakable, the perk or whatever, and he could stand back up, so bravo. Though there was a bullshit tactic when I carried a survivor, the other survivor kneeled in front of the hook so I couldn't hook her. Yeah, that's pretty standard. It's a pretty minimal delay though. You have to make one attack, and then they know that if they stand there again, you'll make another one. They can play the psychological game where they look like they're going to go and do it again, so then you swing, and then that gives the other one enough time to wiggle off. You sometimes see stuff like that. Against Survive with Friends, when you used to... yeah, you can attack when you're carrying someone. You can't lunge, though. You can attack. So, when you used to play against pre-mades and you used to play against Survive with Friends... they would take it in turns, so you would grab someone and then they would take it in turns to sit under the hook, so that you had to make 3 separate attacks, by which time the first one would wiggle and the first 2 that had taken the hits would run off and heal each other up. So they weren't getting any gen progress, but they could pretty much... oh, and obviously they'd be all flashlighting the shit out of you while they were doing it. So there was some pretty bullshit stuff. Oh, he immediately slammed shut the hatch. Interesting. So he's going to that door. He's then going to go to this door. And I've stepped in a trap even though I just saw it. I'm embarrassed an appropriate amount. I really didn't think he would do... I thought he would go around, because why would he go the same way I went? That made no fucking sense. That was supposed to be quite a quality duke. I was expecting him to go around the right-hand side, I would go through there, and then come back, and then go back the way he just come, which is the last place he's going to look for me. That's annoying. There are so few pallets compared to what there used to be. Jesus. Anyway, GG, man. Well played. So let's have a look. What do we get? 18-4. Look at that. 27-9. What a game for that fella. Nicely done. Yeah, we can ready up, no problem. I mean, I don't know what rank you're on, but... There you go, ready up. I'm assuming you didn't do that fast enough, so I'll put it on immediately now. Actually, cancel your ready up for a sec. I'm just gonna, or maybe keep yours going actually. I'm just gonna switch to killer for a second, spend some blood points because I need to, so yeah. Killer, because otherwise I'm gonna start wasting blood points, and I do not want to do that. So we'll go to Billy, load out, blood web, some shit. So... done, and then we'll just do one more because may as well. Whispers is not great, agitation is not great. Let's do Shadow Ball. There we go. Spent some. Right, going back, going to Survivor and searching. Alright, queuing. So I didn't want to just waste excess blood points. Seems like a unnecessary waste. Well, I got a queue immediately, so I imagine that's not you. Is that you? I mean, it's going to take way too much effort for me to constantly leave just to try and get you as a killer, so I'm just going to ready up and play. I don't even know if they've got some system in place to kind of stop that from happening in terms of like Steam friends meeting randomly on the ladder just to stop collusion and stuff. They might have put an algorithm in, I don't know. If it was off stream then sure, but for on I'll just crack on. Whack an item in. Any old shit. Don't care. Lightweight's probably quite good. I just don't know. So. Hex Devour Ass. It's quite a funny name. Alright, so we're on Coldwind Farm, we're right next to a gen, so we'll get straight to it. Next ruin, of course. Let's not even waste time. Let's just get looking for it. Leatherface. He knows we have been here, but he has lost us, so that's handy. One of our mates has been around here, so presumably already checked this area for Hex Ruin, but since none of us can really do much until we find it, running through me and running in circles. Yeah, some of them are good at that nonsense. Right, we have run round the majority of the map here and haven't found the hex totem. This is sad news. On me? No, he did not. Good. And we found the Hex Ruin, so let's deal with that. Alright, let's heal this girl fine. Come here, you silly bish. Hex Ruin's important, but so's saving your ass. She just fucked me out of 1,500 blood points when I'm trying to heal this megging ass. Well, I feel like there was a tad of vindication there if she actually gets caught. I'll go and rescue this dude. Let's see if we can't help this one. Balls of steel! Annoying, but it does mean that he has to come and climb over this thing to pick me up. Meanwhile, I can recover as much health as possible. Wow, this is going to be an intense game. We have not got a lot done in the way of... is he coming up there? Yes. pressure. Because we have zip diddly fuck all going on right now. And he keeps getting us in there. He's either got agitation or iron strength, because he is going a long way to get these basement hooks. I, on the other hand, am getting an absolute wank ton of altruism points. I'm on max. Jesus, will everyone stop getting fucked? God, get fucked. He has some weird talent build here. Look at that nonsense. Nope, bitch. No! I was so close! I should have been able to teleport through to that thing. God damn it. Now we need to get a very good wiggle on, because he's... Is he going to go... Oh no, he's not going to go that far this time. Right, so this is my first hook, which is very good news. It means we've actually got a good chance of living if somebody gets us off this. Oh, he has come and checked, and he's seen that girl, so she needs to get moving. Yeah, but she didn't. So now she's going to get picked up. This guy's going to come for me. Is he going to see him immediately and deal with him? Agitation. This is now super fucking risky. This game's weird. He's got a weird perk loadout. I'm going to be really interested to see what it is in the end. Like this, whatever he's doing now, that looks really buggy as hell. This other guy isn't even doing a lot of gens or anything, which is what he should be doing. We've got a lot of gen pressure possibilities over here. Fuck. So this one hook has actually cost me 2 hooks because this girl was dicking about for too long. If she was dicking about doing generators, I wouldn't mind so much, but it's just the fact that she was dicking about doing jack diddly all, as far as I can tell. So we need to all get this guy healed up, then get me healed up fast. And then I need to be out of it, because if I get hooked again, I'm done. Those two are going to be on that gen. I want to be moving away. Yeah, so he's spotted and gone for that guy. Is he getting caught? Probably. Right, well, he's spending time doing that. Let's not be a hypocrite. Let's spend our time doing generators, which is what that girl should have been doing earlier and wasn't. So let's get as far away as we can and to a generator. Where is a sodding generator? Jesus Christ, there are none on this side. This map is horrible. At this point, we are just expecting to lose, getting points, and then looking for hatch. So they've got the save, but I mean, it's not going to do them any good. Oh, we've done this gen as well? Jesus! They're all on this side. Have we so fucked ourselves that 4 gens are all on this side? I wish this dude had stopped running so I can get to him. He's being a fucking moose. I've had to chase him the entirety of the fucking map. It's not like I'm even getting blood points for this. So she's dead. I'm out of here. All 4 gens in this region. That is horrific. We're going to wait for him to die and we're going to take a hatch out of here. So, Operation Quietly Find the Hatch. He's found the other guy, so that's the first thing. There it is. So we found the hatch. So the hatch, if we're looking at the barn, is straight out this way and then into there. Okay. Marvellous. He's fucked. Let's get ourselves some repair points while we're here. Oh, he's in this direction. I'm not happy about that. Was that his final hook? Yes, it was, which means this hatch now opens and then we bolt into it. Sometimes you just got to know when you beat. Hey, we got the challenge done as well. So we had 22-7 and he had 27-7, so nicely done by the killer. So let's have a look what these perks were. So he just had Iron Grasp. He started Iron Grasp, but while you're carrying a survivor, you suffer no cooldown for missed attacks, and successfully hitting another survivor will pause the carried survivor's wiggle time for 2 seconds. Right, okay, so he did have this. Oh, and agitation, holy shit. You get excited and anticipation, you get a 18% movement speed while carrying a body, and your terror radius. So he had like 3 perks all about carrying the survivors, and then just like whack. So that is a weird. It wasn't actually a bug. It was just a perk set, and then he's got his chainsaw, and basically the add-ons he had are very similar to the add-ons that we were running on the Hillbilly. Cool. Still not sure about our survivor perks though. Anyway, right, let's play another game as the killer. I'm willing to, I'll take the queue time to get a game in. So, do I fancy Billy again? Do we want Billy or do we want... We've played Huntress and Billy so far. Let's have a game with the nurse. Let's have a game with good old Nursey. So what's she got on here that we could potentially use? Nothing much really. For nurse, add-ons are relatively important, but we've got, yeah, decreases maximum blink distance, but increases blood points. Oh, we don't want that. What are we doing with that on? Adds a blink charge, but blinks are restricted. After reappearing from a fully charged blink, the nurse immediately blinks at half charge in the direction that she's facing. That is horrendous. You don't want that. You want to be able to control your blinks. Jesus. Right, blinking past a survivor causes them to scream. And yeah, let's have that. That sounds hilarious. And then what's this? Considerably increases the blink recharge speed, or that is maximum blink range and maximum blink charge time. Not sure I fancy that. No, let's just have this thing where we make them scream if we blink past them. That sounds hilarious. And then we got an offering. Yeah, 100% blood points. Look at that. Lots of blood points. Here we go. Right, cool. And my nurse has all of the tracking people that are injured, so we can see them if they're healing, we can see them if they're bleeding, and my god, we can see them if they're bleeding. That's basically the catch, and then as with every killer, you want Hex Ruin. So they could do with nerfing Hex Ruin a little bit, really, because the fact that you can just take it on every killer as a guarantee is a bit too good. If everyone's taking it on every killer, it's a bit too good. A bit like self-care is a little bit too good. I think they should maybe even slow that healing down even more, so you've got to think, like, is it worth it? Is it better not to just wait or find an ally and take an aura skill like Bond to be able to find your allies instead? I think that would promote more team play instead of solitary play. So if they take, like, everybody taking self-care means that they don't have to work as a team. They can just get hit, run away, they know they can heal themselves. Yeah, it's 50%, but they've usually got a med kit with some add-ons, and frankly, it's not that slow to heal yourself, versus taking like an aura skill like Bond, where you can see all your teammates, and then it's your job to sort of go and find a teammate and get them to heal you up instead. Gets more points around the team, and Bond is just a generally useful skill that has more application than just self-care, but as self-care stands, it's a bit too good not to have it. So I think that, as with Hex Ruin, it should be nerfed a little bit. I mean, Hex Ruin was an auto pick 18 months ago for a long time, so it's been this way for like 2 years, ever since the Hag was released, basically. And the fact that everyone's using it says that it's a bit too good. And the worst part about it is that it's a bit too good unless they just happen to immediately find the Hex Ruin. As the killer, that just sucks, because you just lose one of your best perks immediately, and it's complete chance. And it's just like, if the Hex Ruin totem happens to spawn next to a generator, of course the survivor's going to find it. Pain in the ass. So the randomness of it, the relative strength or weakness of it, I realise that sort of potential weakness, yeah, okay, you could say that balances it out. It doesn't really. It just means that ever so like infrequently, you just get utterly boned, and most of the time, it's just really, really good. And that's not a great play experience for anyone, I don't think. Oh my god. So Sloppy Butcher now not only increases the bleeding frequency, but also gives them mangled, so they're harder to heal. I didn't know that. I mean, I was taking it even before the mangled effect, so now that it has mangled as well, this build becomes even better. That's really cool. Still, the killer wait times do not fill me with joy. They do not spark joy. Hitting a survivor with a successful blink attack grants the nurse the undetectable status for 16 seconds. That sounds fun. I don't want to spend blood points to get it, but it does sound like a laugh. We're getting closer to triple level 50, triple level 50, level 50, level 50, level 50. This guy can get fucked, and then we'll get the new Japanese killer and get him up to 50. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 level 50 killers plus him, and just the 1 level 50. Well, 3 level 50s because we prestige 3'd the Meg. And then we've got David, who's almost level 50. So, like, 10 level 50 killers and 4 level 50 survivors. That's about right in terms of the amount that I've played both. I actually feel like I probably played killer a bit more than that, because it used to be much, much, much harder and longer to level up with killer than it is now. And so I got the first level 50s on Nurse and Hillbilly when it was back in Legacy, when it was about 4 times harder to level up than it is now. So it's almost worth even more. Like when you've got people with the gold weapons, so my customize, yeah, this gold Legacy. So this stuff, the bloody stuff, yeah, I mean you have to get level 50, but it's really not super hard, and the blood points are now more available. But the Legacy stuff took a fucking age. So in actuality, because I did 2 of my killers during Legacy, that took a long, long, long time. Would she actually look scarier with one of these? Stick with the full prestige gear. Wait for these guys to ready up and then try and give them a spanking. Hey! Right, hope for no disconnects, because otherwise that'll be very sad times. So, let's see what map we get. It's quite important with the Nurse, honestly. If you get a good map, you can, you've got good line of sight. Line of sight's even more important on the Nurse than any other killer, because of how her blinks work and how the timing on them and how they're so badly punished if you don't get them right. And so, like, line of sight and also just familiarity with the killer. So we definitely don't have that for now. We used to have a lot of it, but yeah, let's see. Yamakoa Estate. I do not know this map, so I cannot tell you if it's a good Nurse map or not. It looks like there's a lot of loss blocking terrain, so perhaps not amazing. Let's nip up there. Here. Oh, we've got them on the move. I was kind of hoping that was going to do the whole scream thing. Well, we got it. Oh, and she's popped up. Oh, there we go, the screen thing. Hey, because we got the blink, we got the extra points for the lethal blink, that's nice. Oh, we're right next to a hook. Marvellous. Just break this bit of progress that she got going here. No work on this generator. No work on this generator. Back over there. Still no one coming for her. Interesting. Being able to sort of blink. Oh, hello. We've got the hit, so let's break the pallet. Oh wow, she's just giving up on life. That's interesting. Well, interesting. We didn't quite use Nurse's Calling fast enough. But we do get the lethal blink, and now we should get another one. Sloppy butcher, there's no way he's getting out of it. Like, my tracking at this point, look at him, he's like pissing fluorescent blood everywhere. So we can. Oh, so we got the first gen done. Alright, that's fine. We've already got one dead and one hooked, so one gen for that is absolutely A-okay. As long as we stop any. Big unwanted progress early on. Oh, hello there. Yeah, nice. Got you, and you wasted your... That's good. Where's your fluorescent blood gone? Over here. Oh, usually you can get them to run back into it. Anyway. Fluorescent blood wins the day as usual. So we'll pop it and immediately nip over there. That's where we hook the last one. Which shows us some fluorescent blood again. He fell for it though. The other guy might not have, but he did. And again. Yeah, pissing around with a nurse in close proximity to a pallet does not benefit you, my friend. Now we saw that guy going through. And thus we get a tasty little blink off. Not pleased with that one. Getting the nurse back a bit. Oh, this guy's fucked off. He's had enough. Can't remember where I ended that first one. Fuck. Well, that's annoying. Where did I down him? I went over to the hook. The hook was over there and I was over here somewhere. Has he just got iron will and he's hiding in the grass somewhere or something? Where the bastard bloody hell is he? Well, damn it, they've healed him up as well. They haven't healed him up entirely though, which seems unwise. That one's still untouched, that one's still untouched. This one's been touched a little bit. So it makes me think they're still back over this way. Oh, there we go, we got him. Oh, you cheeky bitch. Right. Where's he going? Will I be down this way? I got you. Don't you worry. Now you're bleeding. Now you're mine. Yeah. Say hello. Right. Could theoretically have just left that guy to bleed out and used him as bait or whatever, but I think his mate is being a bit of a penis and just like waiting for the guy to wait for the hatch because he's realised they're not winning this. So he's just going to let him die, I think. Oh wait, hang on. This suits me though. I'm alright with it. The other guy's bleeding, so let's not let him get away. And he turned around and came in here. Gotcha. And that's why we have the blood tracking talents. Now we need to we know where that guy is, he's in that corner, and this guy was over here. Yeah, we need to find him before he gets too far away. So we know that guy's now crawling towards us, so that's good, and his blood's luminescent anyway, so now we actually have a mental note where he is. We can easily get to him and sort him out. Now he might have decisive strike, but it looks like he just fancies having a wiggle, which is again fine by me. That is a clean win. Very clean win. I had some good blinks there. I had a couple of shockers, and I spent a bit too much time like stuck on the corner of stuff like this, where I'm just trying to get in it. Got a couple of nice little fake blinks, a couple of blink twists. Good nurse shit, good nurse shit. I enjoyed that. GG. How much did we get? Oh, 22. Not bad. That was a lot. Jesus, we got a lot there. Especially since we doubled it up with the soup item thing we had. We're going to have to go and Got a hunter setup suggestion. Well, an obvious thing to do is to go and have a look at mine, I suppose. So, let's talk Huntress for a moment. And so I guess I'm playing Huntress. Right, here we go. Huntress. Ready. Cool. Oh, I haven't selected a challenge. Let me just do that. Right, my add-ons are a bunch of crap for a minute. Hemorrhage, yeah, sure. And Bloodbox, cool. So I have Nurse's Calling. I think you should have that on almost every killer. It's just far too good. Hex Ruin, because again, it's far too good. Huntress Lullaby kind of goes well with Hex Ruin in a way, but also not. So if they are looking for your totems anyway because of Hex Ruin, then what I do is I have a triple Hex build, and one of those hexes is Thrill of the Hunt, which is one that basically gives you a notification when they start working on a Hex totem. So you have a very similar setup by the looks of it, but you also want to have a Hex Ruin. And then essentially when they start going for your totems at the start, you will get a notification and you can go and hunt them down. And if they don't get them, then Huntress's Lullaby really kind of fucks with their progression, as does Hex Ruin. This one allows you to sort of keep those going for a bit longer. Which one? Hex Ruin? It's a perk from the Hag, so you would need to either buy that DLC or get it in the Shrine of Secrets. Most people just sort of had it anyway from before, but you as a new player, you might have to actually get that DLC to get Hex Ruin. It's way too good. You do need Nurse's Calling, so you will have to level up the nurse at some point. You just have to. That perk's just way too good. It's amazing. Huntress Lullaby isn't super important. If I was going to change this build, what I'd do is I'd drop Thrill of the Hunt and Huntress Lullaby and take probably Bitter Murmur and Strider, maybe. It's another nurse perk. Now that I know that the Sloppy Butcher has Mangled effect, though, that is quite tempting. But if you have that, then you generally want to mix it with the Bloodhound thing. So I could potentially, I mean, on almost every killer, I could see myself running Nurse's Calling, Hex Ruin, Sloppy Butcher, and Bloodhound. But there are certain killers that don't need to sort of injure and track people, they just one-shot them. So for example, you wouldn't do it on either of the chainsaw guys, the Hillbilly or Leatherface, because you're going to just one-shot people, so why bother wasting loadout slots on tracking? Because you're not going to track people that are fucking dead, are you? But for example, the nurse who has issues where she blink, and then she goes, and is looking around, she can't see anything, it makes a hell of a lot of sense to have the Strider perk to be able to hear them, and to be able to track them. So that's an option. When you're playing the Huntress, you do end up tracking people a lot, and so I could see those perks being decent. Other options that seem okay, you don't care about pallet stuns, you don't care about Shadowborn that much, you don't care about missed attacks. Deerstalker is okay. Predator doesn't matter, I don't think. Sloppy Butcher might be a good one that you can definitely get your hands on. Territorial Imperative's an absolute bag of shit. Bitter Murmur seems to be very good for a general one. You don't need to unlock anyone to get that, and it seems to be pretty solid in general, I would say. I like Bitter Murmur. Like, 5-second reveal and a 10-second reveal. That's really pretty good when a generator's done. You can do some properly bullshit things with Hillbilly and Insidious. I used to get flamed so bad. So what I would do is I would play Hillbilly with Insidious 3. I could do it with Nurse as well. Oh god, with Nurse it was so sick as well. So you take Insidious, right? You take someone, you hook them, you immediately start running away, and then you go out of line of sight, but still in line of sight of the survivor, and you stay still. Then your terror radius goes away, and the survivors come running to the hook because they're like, oh, he's completely gone away, fantastic. And with the Nurse, you could make that even more impressive because you could make the blink sound by just blinking really right next to yourself. So you just go blink, and they would hear, Rah! And then after 2 seconds, they would hear the terror radius disappear. So they'd be like, oh, great, the Nurse blinked way away. Let's go and get it. And then as the Nurse, if you were good with your blink positioning, you could get your next blink to blink yourself right next to them as they were starting to unhook. And if you get them as they're unhooking, you automatically just pick them up. So you basically kill them and pick them up in one move. So there was some bullshit camping strategies that I used to do. Oh, people hated me. And rightly so. And with the Hillbilly, you basically do the same thing. Obviously, you can't make people think that you've gone away quite so much, except you can use your chainsaws. So you just rev. Don't actually charge anywhere. And then let go, stop moving for 2 seconds. Your terror radius will go away. And again, most survivors will think, oh, he's chainsawed and then gone out of terror radius. Fantastic, let's go and get the save. And then as they go to start unhooking, you rev the chainsaw again and just chainsaw them in the back. Rinse, repeat. It's oh man, they get. If you want to see people angry, do that to a Russian. Like, that is the definition of rage. It is disgustingly funny sometimes. Oh. Oh, Insidious. It is Insidious. Insidious is exactly the right word for that talent. Brr. Makes me shiver. Like, I might play one game, last game of the stream, and I will play with Insidious, and I'll show you what I mean. It is dirty. You need a shower after it. Like, you as a viewer will need a shower. If I can pull it off, I think I can. I think I'll still be able to do that shit. I used to actually practice it a bit, which just gives you an idea. Oh, I mean, I used to do it quite a bit. There was a time when I thought it might be legitimately, like, genuinely really good. So I thought, right, I'm going to use this to rank up. So I practiced it for quite a while, and oh, filth, absolute filth. Good hunting to you, sir. Oh, hello. Well, we're not doing very well here. I am being quiet because I'm listening out for footsteps and all sorts. But truth be told, we have been thoroughly given the runaround there. But they still didn't find Hex Ruin. That's hilarious. So I'm playing dreadfully, but because of Hex Ruin, we're doing fine. And we just shouldn't be. Nice. Sad that we've got her down right next to the Hex Ruin totem, but nice that we've got her. And we do have a locker for some hatchets, so that's handy. And Hex Ruin is still up, so that will cause them some issues. Nonsense. Make sure we've always got one hook, so we want some progress to be going on. Nice. Have some of that. Evening, Gazzo. How you doing, mate? I am having a giggle. Just finished a game of War Machine. Oh, lovely. What are you playing at the minute? How was your game? Considering how badly this game started, I have pulled this around so well. Oh, playing Convergence, wonderful. What were you trying out? Axis with 8 negators and Lich 4. Remind me what a negator does. Look at that! Look at it, Kobe! Speed of Flying Jack initials. Okay. Alright, so we've closed the hatch. Hello, madam. And we've got it. Speaking of crit amputation, here I have an axe. Alright, fair enough. Lich 4 is an absolute boss. I believe you. I believe you. Ding dong. 18 base. Motherfucker. That is crazy. And what was your opponent playing? Was he a similar level to you, or actually I assume you were playing against Wee Man, right? Evening, Scary. Kill them all. Yes, yes we did. Ah, crap. We've actually gone up to 1,000,000 blood points. We need to go and spend some. How did everybody do? A little less experienced local player. Alright, fair enough. Oh, he abandoned because he had a very rare toolbox and he's hopefully just trying to, like, discon protect it or something. I don't know. Not a big fan of that, but... Right, I'm going to play one last game this evening. I think we'll go with Killer because it's just a bit of fun. And so what would everybody like to see? We've got a few viewers in now. So we've got the choice between Trapper Dude, Invisible Dude, Chainsaw Dude, Blinking Nurse, Hatchet Throwing Huntress. And we're not playing that guy because I just think he's, I don't know, a bit boring and crap and I don't like him. Trapper Dude it is then. Trapper Dude sounds like a laugh. Let's do it. So first of all, I need to just go on to my Hillbilly and spend some points so we don't waste them. So let's see what we've got. Shadowborn 3, play with your food. Let's go. And then let's get... Greedy and get Shadowborn as well. Some mangled. Movement speed increases charge time, get fucked. Blood points are good, blood points are good. We'll just do one more level so we don't have to keep coming back and doing this. First time seeing this game. Okay, so this game is a 1v4 Killer versus 4 survivors. They've got to try and power up some generators and get the hell out of there. And we have to kill them, unsurprisingly, from the name. So I'm just doing some leveling up shit. Don't worry about this. It's not very important. There we go. So I'm just spending some blood points and leveling up one of my killers. But this isn't the one we're going to be playing this time. We're going to be playing this dude. So we'll hit ready to try and avoid monster Q times. Who knows? We might just get lucky. So extra blood points is good. And we've got, yeah, massive increase to the traps. So, yeah, we've got to try and basically kill them, and we've got a bunch of killers that we can play in order to do that. So there's loads of these, there's loads of DLC that I don't have. I haven't played this game for about a year and a half, and a lot of these killers were released after I stopped playing. These were the original 4 killers, and then they've added these ones in, and I was actually here for when she was released and him, but I really, really don't like him. So I've got most of the killers to a pretty high level. Why can't you just axe them? Well, you can. So basically speaking, all of your killers will have a melee weapon, and all of those melee weapons behave in exactly the same way, essentially. In the previous game, I mean, you can just hit them with your melee axe, yeah. But there are certain disadvantages to hit them in melee. So if you hit them in melee, you have to sort of slow down and recover, so you kind of go bang, and then she wipes the blood off her axe and slows down for a second, whereas the survivor gets hit, and therefore they get a big burst of adrenaline and they run faster for a second. So whereas if you just hit them with a hatchet, they go faster, but you don't really go slower. So it's with the Huntress, the best combination is to basically hit them with a hatchet close up, and then you close the distance faster between them and finish them off with an axe hit. All the survivors have 3 states. They have healthy, injured, and dying. And then they theoretically have a 4th state, which is dead, but then they're dead. And as you say, in order to kill them permanently, you need to hang them on those meat hooks. When you hang them the first time, they can hang there for ages. Once they get down below half health, then they go into like the second stage of the hook, and if you then hook them again, so like a 3rd time, either once for a long time and then one more, or once they get rescued by another survivor, again they get rescued by another survivor, and then a 3rd time. So every time that you hook them for the 3rd time, they're dead completely, they're gone, they're out the game. So survivors don't want to get hooked that 3rd time ever. And the other survivors want to power up these generators. Obviously they want to get each other off the hooks and heal each other up and try to block line of sight. So they have 3rd-person camera, whereas we have 1st-person camera. So while we are sort of constricted and we have to look around and really try and see where they're going, they can like crouch down behind a wall, sort of look around it with their camera, and then really try and crouch around and block line of sight and so on for the killer. But the killer is much faster. They can't hurt the killer in any way, really. They can drop these wooden pallets down. That can sometimes slow the killer down and stun you for a second, but generally speaking, the killer has a huge advantage, obviously, but there's only 1 of him and there's 4 of them. So that's how the game is balanced, and it's interesting. It's interesting. Phoenix says, I just got spanked by 4 prestige survivors. Yeah, if you get 4 prestige survivors who are probably therefore in a pre-made, then that is sad times. No challenge selected, but I can't seem to select a challenge, so we'll just have to crack on. All right. So let's see what map we get and what survivors we're up against. So looks like they've got a fair bit of blood and new outfits and stuff, so these might be actually semi-decent survivors. We're only ranked 15, so we've not had enough chance to rank up a ton, so they're not going to be amazing yet. Once we get to rank 1, we'll start to see a lot more very good play all round, and by that point hopefully we'll be warmed up enough to give those type of survivors a really good game. And I think that's the aim, right? I mean, you don't want to just super spank people because it's not much fun, especially if you've had a long wait queue for that game. But this will be the last game for this evening, so I hope you're all enjoying yourself so far. Next week I will be streaming as normal, but please note that in 2 weeks I am going to have to miss 2 streams. That will be Wednesday and Thursday, or possibly just Thursday. But no, I think Wednesday and Thursday in 2 weeks' time. And what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to try and replace those streams with streams on another day or at another time, and I'll let people know as we get there. So, no, let's put it there. And then we'll immediately go and pick up this trap because it's right here. And we'll set that one there. Oh, fuck bollocks. What, you can walk into your own trap immediately? Fucking arse. I didn't know. Oh, hello. Pre-record and upload to YouTube. Yeah, that's not really what we're after here, is it? So the whole idea is the chat and the community sort of element, I think. Oh, this. And you know, my YouTube channel hasn't really picked up any massive sort of traction yet, so I don't want to rely on that. You know, my YouTube is just there to provide a bit of a record of what's been happening. It's not. Oh, hello, sir. And then we back up. Get him. And then get her. Oh, she's got borrowed fucking time. Right, well, this guy's going down. So he's probably got decisive strike as well, so he's likely to now stun me and then get away. No, he didn't. Good news. And she's got to go and heal herself now, because otherwise she's phoned. And I do have nurses calling, so we're going to go in the direction that she went, and then see if we catch her healing herself somewhere. And why not pick up a little trap on the way. Since this has got a bit too much progress for my liking, we'll deal with that. And we just want to get a lot of traps set up, because in the long term, like, killer gets stronger the longer you go, but especially when you're playing trapper. So we actively want them to... Hello, sir. Oh, you bitch! You little... Asian Jesus. Come here. Alright. Now, is he going to penetrate towards that trap that I just said? As if so, it would kind of demonstrate it was rather good. I think someone went this way. Alright, so someone's here. We're going to come in this way. They're going to run out this way. What? They heard the terror radius and ran out in advance? Probably. Alright, well, they lost us. Good work. Let's pop a trap down. So somebody just fucked it over there. Hello, sir. So we'll clip him. That's good news. Looks like someone found and undid one of the traps. we're going to get a good number of pallets undone here. Nice. So we'll pretend that we haven't seen that guy, but we have. Hello. We'd just like to injure him so that he has to go and deal with that instead of dealing with generators. And then we'll, while he's dealing with that instead of dealing with generators, we'll let the generator scale a bit. First time hook for that guy, that's a bit irritating. What the fuck? That was fast. That guy was just waiting right there. Fair play. Okay, where did the bleeding guy go? Running towards a trap, that's good news.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's an injured guy right behind us. This guy running towards. That guy's been trapped, nice. Interesting, so we are in a bit of trouble. But then so are they. That's wasting a lot of my time. That's really annoying. I think they're going to get away. I think we've been boned here. There's an injured guy here. And of course he immediately uninjures as we reach him. Fuck's sake. Oh, that is just a bunch of bad timing. And good play from them, obviously, like not taking away from their win. We are going to get 0 here, boys. 0. Unless we get very lucky and catch someone in that trap. So they should all be waiting for me by this open door to teabag and generally celebrate and so on and so forth. Yeah. And now the last one, we'll try and get the hatch. Oh, there's the last one. Oh, I should have waited. I could have actually tried to get the grab. As she was going over that thing, I could have tried to get the grab. Oh, we did get the hit, but she immediately gets out. Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, well played, guys, well played. Let's have a look, see if we got enough points anyway. Well played. And yeah, we easily got enough to rank up. Jesus. Oh wow, no we didn't. It counted as just not D-ranking. For 17k, that seems a bit rough. I mean, they only got 18k. Fuckers. No, it was... Why the fuck was I, at a level 15 rank killer, put up against a team of 6 and 7s who were presumably pre-made, since they were all the same rank, all, like, 2 borrowed times... That is mad. I mean, at least they weren't all using items and add-ons and all sorts, so it wasn't like a total buttfuckery. But that seems a bit rough. Like, that is a bit of a disbalance. Right, well, I've enjoyed myself. Hope you have too, and look forward to seeing you all next week. I'm away for the weekend, going to a disc golf tournament and staying in a cottage with a bunch of mates. So won't be around much over the weekend. I will be back on Monday as usual, and haven't entirely decided what I'll be playing on the Monday yet. We will see. Disc golf, so like the frisbee golf, but it's there's a tournament up in Benishov, and it's actually a ranked one, so it'll be the first ranked tournament that I've attended, which is kind of funny because I haven't played that much recently compared to what I used to be a couple of years ago when I was playing with my Italian friend. We used to play every bloody week several times, but now I did play. I played a doubles tournament with a friend of mine, Kyle, last Saturday, I think, or the Saturday before, and that was fucking madness. We played 3 rounds. Hang on a sec, I forgot to put the stream ending thing on. Yeah, here we go. So we played 3 rounds of 3 courses, all 9 hole, but still like 81 holes theoretically of disc golf. But because it was doubles, we basically played best shot, worst shot, and then alternating shot, which won't mean much to any of you, but it just means we didn't play all 81 holes each. But it was still quite a lot. It was a full day. This one is more of an individual tournament, so you just go, throw and play your best, and your score gets ranked at the end of it. Which is kind of funny because I've never played this course before, so you would think you'd like to have at least seen what the fuck you're going into. I imagine a lot of the players there will have seen the course quite a bit. So, you know, let's see. Right. Thank you all for popping on. Lovely to see you, and hopefully see you on Monday. Thank you very much, Scary. Much appreciated. And I will indeed see you soon. I will see you on next Saturday. Speaking of which, may as well do this live. What time would it be ideal for me to arrive in Vienna? Like, because you'll be preparing and stuff, won't you? So it's better if I arrive on Saturday, I imagine. But what time do you want me to get there? Is morning better, or early afternoon, or early evening? Like, I don't need to arrive early. The event is not in Vienna. Oh shit. Okay, well, I'm really glad you said that, because I would have booked transport to the wrong place. Right. Right, well, I will go and check out where it is and try to... Leoben. Okay, and can I count on a lift from somebody from Leoben? Marvellous. So should I arrive sort of Saturday early evening or afternoon, or what's the best? And I'm probably not bringing anyone along. It is probably just myself. Early to mid-afternoon. Cool. I will shoot for that. Excellent. Hope you're all well. Have a good night. Take care.